Charles Schulz has managed to amuse and bridge generations with his characters. With their own special brand of charm, they often provoke laughter and pause for thought. You may remember the strip when Charlie Brown seeks psychiatric advice from Lucy. Lucy tells Charlie Brown that life is like a deck chair on the cruise ship of life. What you have to decide, Lucy says, is whether you want your deck chair to face backward so you can see where you have been, or if you want your deck chair to face forward so you can see where you are going. Exasperated, Charlie Brown responds, "I'm having trouble just getting my deck chair unfolded." We are a blessed congregation with our deck chairs facing forward. But that didn't just happen. Every single ministry in this church began as someone else's vision.
In 1998, some members of our church family felt the need for an intercessory prayer ministry. We had a wonderful response from the congregation and started with about 80 intercessors who committed to pray every week for people who were hurting in some way. The vision has widened to include writing notes and sending cards to the people on our prayer list. We now have over 350 intercessors. We reach out in prayer to people of all faiths and to many who have no church home at all.
11 years ago, we saw the need for a community Thanksgiving dinner, and so we opened our doors and invited everyone to join us. We did not even know how many people would show up. We did not know how much food to make, but we had faith that if we had it, people would come. And it has grown since the first year, from serving 150 meals to over 800 meals last year, and we delivered over 200 meals. We are all meant to touch someone's lives, and we might not know it when we do it, and this is one of those times. So this Thanksgiving dinner is a time for fellowship, and it's a time for sharing, it's time for caring, because you never know whose lives you're going to touch.
When I first came to Coming First United Methodist Church, I saw that there was a need here in terms of being the kind of church that makes disciples of Jesus Christ, which means going out and serving other people. And at Peachtree Road, we had a program called the One Great Day of Service. We had actually borrowed it from some other church. And we started that program here the first year I was here, and Janet Walden started it and did a wonderful job. And we have served with about 500 to 700 volunteers each year. But it's one of the ways in which we saw a need to serve the community and grow disciples of Jesus Christ and become servants.
In the early 70s, there was no public kindergarten in Forsyth County. Two of our church members decided that this was a need the church could fulfill in the community, so they began the weekday preschool program. In 1972, 24 students enrolled in the first weekday preschool program at Cumming United Methodist Church. Since that time, the school has educated approximately 10,000 children within the community. We've now grown to an annual enrollment of more than 350 students, and we're serving our second generation of children. The vision of the weekday preschool program is to continue offering the very best foundation for love of learning to young children in the church and the community.
About 5 or 6 years ago, I found out that I was going blind, and then in June of 2009, I had a cornea transplant. At the time, I was a member of a Methodist church in Alpharetta, and I was a recipient of one of the first prayer shawls of their new ministry. They had just got started. During my transplant, the shawl was with me the whole time as I was awake for it, and I held on to it and prayed. In August of 2010, I started visiting Coming First UMC, and I started getting involved in the different ministries here. I loved Happy Nodders, where they make fleece blankets for hospice patients, and I got involved with the intercessory prayer ministry. Each week, as I received the different lists of all the people that had requested prayer, I was amazed at the needs. People that were hurting, in pain, they were suffering with disease, or people dealing with divorce. As I prayed, I kept getting a calling, and it was a true calling of God telling me that a prayer shawl ministry would really be benefited here at Coming First. So thus began October 2010, the Coming First Prayer Shawl Ministry. The ladies have been absolutely wonderful. They have knitted and they have crocheted prayer squares and prayer shawls, and they have been sent all over the world. It's been such a blessing, just an amazing experience of all the work of giving back and how it's touched my lives. And as I see it touch others, it just makes me realize at the ministries here at Coming First, we're not just doing good work, we're doing God's work.